Hello Nistas and Nistas, how are you today? Welcome back to the channel. I want to thank you guys for coming back to the channel. I'm Savings Fashionista, and over here we do mainly things fragrances, and today we are going to talk fragrances, you guys. So if you're interested in hearing about some fragrance thoughts that you can get full-size bottles of from Sephora, please stay tuned. Alright you guys, so I have a cute little collection of samples that I have accumulated over time with Sephora online purchases. A lot of times fragrance samples are not available, or they may just have one available, and then that's when I'll try other things, skincare or makeup. But I have about 9 fragrances over here that I thought would be a perfect time for me to share my thoughts with you about these fragrances, because the VIB is approaching. Alright, so you know it goes by tiers, and I have not yet received my little brochure in the mail yet, but I did look it up online. You know that there are 3 tiers to VIB. You have the Rouge, which is the top tier. Then you have the VIB, which is the middle tier, and you have the Insider, which is the bottom tier. I have been a part of all of these tiers, and I have completely enjoyed my savings at Sephora. So this year, for the fall sale, it starts November the 1st through November the 11th. Now be mindful that anyone can get Sephora items all of those days for 30% off. So things like brushes, their custom lip glosses, any of their skincare products or accessories, those are 30% off. But Rouge members, we get first access, and that's 20% off starting November the 1st through the 11th. Then VIB gets the next early access, which is, well, it's not early, but that's when you all can start shopping, which is November the 5th through the 11th. And the Insider also starts November the 5th through the 11th. So this information is accessible on the app, or you can just look it up online. So I thought about doing a wish list, but I'm just like, my thoughts are not even really together on my wish list. A lot of times I do put things in my cart, and you add and subtract things from that cart, you know, weeks leading up before the sale. So what I decided to do is just share my thoughts about some of these fragrances that I have gotten for both men and women. So the very first fragrance that I'm going to share with you is the Acqua Di Gio, and this is the Parfum by Giorgio Armani, and it comes in this particular packaging, and I'll also leave you a picture of the bottle. But this fragrance has fragrance notes of marine notes, bergamot, rosemary, clary sage, geranium, albanium, and patchouli. Now when I saw Parfum, it made me think about a female, but I do believe that this is a unisex fragrance. But this is the fragrance, so let's give it a spritz. And my husband does wear Acqua Di Gio, but I'm not really sure which one he wears. Yes, I think this is the one that he probably wears. It is. This is a freshie for a male, but a female can easily get away with this because those marine notes, it does give you this soft, citrusy, clean vibe, and it is really nice. I really like it. A little bit more grapefruit citrus than it does bergamot. And bergamot, depending on the body, not bergamot, but grapefruit, depending on the body, it could very well turn or lean sour depending on the time of the year and just who's wearing it. And even off this card, I am smelling that little underline. It's not a bad sourness, but it's just like that citrus grapefruit sourness, smelling more like the peel than the actual fruit itself. But it's a really nice fragrance. I think that this is a classic in the fragrance world. So again, this is Acqua Di Gio by Giorgio Armani. The next fragrance is also for men. This is Homme YSL. And this bottle looked like this, and my husband has had this before. I don't think he was that crazy about it, so I never did get it again. But I liked it. I really did like it. This one has fragrance notes of citrus, woody, vetiver, ginger, and bergamot. And this is also a classic, I think, with a lot of males in the fragrance, popular fragrance. Yes, I like this. This is good. This is like more of a clean, soapy type vibe, but it smells so good. It's like masculine soap. Really enjoy it. This is nice. But like I said, I don't think my husband was that crazy about this one because it took him forever to use it. And whenever it takes him forever to use something, I know he's not really vibing with it because he wears a lot of cologne. But this one is nice. This is really nice, and I think that it is relatively popular in the community. All right, the next one, I do have this in the female form, and this is the Valentino Uomo. I think the Uomos are for the gentlemen, and this is Born in Roma Green Stravaganza. Let's see. Yeah, it has a picture of the bottle, but I'm going to give you another picture to look at also. You know, these bottles, they kind of round off a little bit. They're not as square as the female bottles. But this is Green Stravaganza. This smells nothing like the female. Not that I'm not saying that as a bad thing, but I was thinking in my mind that it was just more of a stronger version. The Uomos were more of a stronger version for the fragrance that I have for the women, but it's totally different. This has bergamot, it has coffee, and it has vetiver. And the female, it has a beautiful tea note in it. So totally different. But this is nice. This is nice. It smells, I'm going to be honest, it's nice, but it is just a basic, seem like it's probably very linear designer fragrance for a male. Very simple, you know. So this would be a great recommendation if a person is difficult to buy for. You know, some men are just difficult to buy for and you don't know what's the safe zone. I do think that this could possibly be a safe zone fragrance because it's not so unique or polarizing. It's just very basic and simple, like the other three that I've just shared with you. Just basic designer fragrances. And I think that they could all possibly be a safe buy for a gentleman. All right, so let's just stick with Valentino, since we're in the world of Valentino. And this is the Donna, and the Donna series are for female. And this is the Coral Fantasy. This is the one that I don't have. I don't own Coral Fantasy. I have like 6 others, but I don't have this one. And this one has fragrance notes of kiwi, Brazilian orange, Indian jasmine, muskmallow, rose, white musk, and cedar. Now, I have sampled this fragrance quite a few times. I do like how this fragrance starts out. I really do. The kiwi is absolutely beautiful in here. But you guys, when this fragrance dries down, that muskmallow, which is like an ambroxan, and that cedar, it just does not agree with my skin in combination. It's absolutely gorgeous right now. It smells summertime, springtime vibe. It's pretty, it's fruity, but it's something about the way that this develops on my skin that has always stopped me from actually purchasing a full-size bottle. So even when I got this, I knew what to expect because I had sampled it many a times in store. And by the time I get home, I am so unpleased with what I'm smelling till I just never purchased it. Will it grow on me one day? Possibly. I'm not sure, but as of now, it has not. But there are quite a few people in the community that really enjoy the coral fantasy. All right, so moving on into this next fragrance. This is a fragrance that is actually on my wish list, and it's on my honey wish list. And I do really enjoy this. I just haven't purchased it yet. I don't know why. I just haven't. But this is Can't Stop Loving You by Kilian. And this has fragrance notes of orange blossom, paradones, honey, albanium, oak moss, Madagascar vanilla, and albinum. Pardon me. This is good. It's just the perfect balance of honey and orange blossom. This is a beautiful orange blossom fragrance, you guys. So if you're into the orange blossom fragrances, this is one of those very beautiful orange blossom fragrances. But that honey, and you don't really get the honey, well, I don't get the honey until about 30 minutes out, because as you can see, I really have been playing around and sampling this. But it's a beautiful fragrance. Like I said, it is on the wish list. I do think that it could be a balanced unisex fragrance. It is on the wish list. I haven't purchased it yet. So it's still on the wish list. And one day you'll probably see it show up in my fragrance collection. But it is definitely a sweet orange blossom with that beautiful... When I think of honey, I think more of like a sweet resin, if that makes sense. And I'm not even a big fan of resin, but it's something about the honey that just gives you this sweet woodiness almost, which really doesn't make sense because honey is a liquid, but that's just the way I kind of categorize it in my brain. But it's pretty. It's really nice. It is. Really enjoy it. This is Skin by Clean Reserve, and this is a fresh, beautiful fragrance. Really enjoy it. I have had it in a full 10 ml size and I used it all, but this has notes of praline, musk, salt, tonka, and leather. And it is nice. This is nice. Very close to skin. The leather is nowhere at all overly masculine or overbearing. It is just so nice. Like I said, it sits close to skin, and I do like the way that this is blended because it makes it a perfect unisex. Those sweet praline gourmand notes with that tonka bean, it's more for the ladies, but you get the flip side of that with the salt and the leather, and it just makes sense. It just makes all the sense in the world. But it's nice. This is probably one of my favorites. I know it's in my top 3 from the Clean Reserve line. Never got a full-size bottle of it, but this and Warm Cotton would definitely be 2 that I would look into to getting a full-size bottle of it. But absolutely beautiful fragrance. I think that this is something that the entire family could wear. Even if you put fragrances on your younger kids, this is perfect for that type of fragrance. All right, next up, I was excited to see this one as a choice because I have always wanted to smell this. But this is the Chloe Nomad. And never have I ever sampled this fragrance until I got it, you know, in a package. But this one has Mariah Bell, bergamot, lemon, orange, freesia, peach, jasmine, rose, oak moss, patchouli, amberwood, white musk, and sandalwood. It's okay. It's nice. It definitely gives me air freshener vibes. It's probably that musk and that patchouli. And those notes, they just kind of like jump right out. But it's not a bad fragrance, but I don't think this one is for me. It's not. I don't know. I could see this developing and going in so many different directions depending on when you wore it and who was wearing it. Because the way that it's kind of like evolving on this card is probably something that I could eventually grow to like. Now it's starting to smell like an expensive soap. I don't know. Let me take that back. Let me take that back saying that this is not for me. Because I'm kind of vibing with it. That's why it takes time to really, really explore fragrances. But here are my initial thoughts on most of them. But some of them, and I will make mention the ones that I have already experienced in the past. This next one is by Rosie James, and this is Leila Lou. And it has fragrance notes of pear, jasmine, and fresh cut grass. It says it feels like favorite jeans and white tee, fresh, flirty, and everyday. I think every girl needs that type of fragrance. Perfect for... Oh yeah, this is definitely a pear fragrance. Ooh, that pear smells good. Yes, 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 yes. It's very green too. Green, you smell the white florals and that pear. This is nice. It's nice. It is. It's nice. But I have had pear fragrances that I do like a little better. But I can see if or why a person really vibe with this. But this is nice. So if you're into that clean girl aesthetic, the Leila Lou by Rosie Jane, it's nice. All right, this next one, I've actually had this in full size bottle, but I didn't like it. I liked it initially when I got it, but it just became very just blah to me after wearing it a couple of times. And this is the Versace Bright Crystal. Now, you know that I am a fan of the Versace Yellow Dream. I think people like to smell it more on me than I do myself, because I tell you, whenever I have worn that fragrance, I get loads and loads of compliments. And I was expecting the same thing from this, but... And I bought the big bottle too, big full-size bottle, but it just wasn't for me. I ended up decluttering it and gifting it to someone. But this one has Ice Accords, Peony, Akilu, Musk. It has Wazoo, Pomegranate, Magnolia, and Lotus Flower with some type of amber. And the olfactive family is Flower, Fruity, Musk. So like I said, it's one of those pretty girl type of fragrances. It was just mediocre for me. After I wore it, like I said a couple times, I just was no longer vibing with it. It does not smell bad, but it just wasn't my cup of tea. The Yellow Dream was more my thing. And like I said, it's real basic. Very basic. So this one's just not for me. So again, this is Versace Bright Crystal. Now this is totally different from a wish list, right? Because most people with wish lists, they are telling you the things that they like or are tried and true or staples in their collection. And I just wanted to do something a little different. Yes, I could have come up with a ton of products to share with you that I buy on a regular from Sephora, but I thought, okay, let's just go this way and just give them your honest opinion on some of these samples that have came from Sephora. So the last one, and I do have this in full size bottle, and it is so good. So much so till this has somewhat satisfied me from the crave of wanting Cherry Smoke from Tom Ford, which is still on the wish list. But this particular fragrance here, it is a great alternative. And this is Cherry Ambition from the 7 Virtues. You guys, this is one of the sexiest cherry fragrances that I've ever experienced. It smells so good. It has notes of cherry, saffron, vanilla, and marshmallow. It sounds good, right? Yes. So this is definitely a fall time cherry. Oh, this smells so good. It smells woody. It has like that leathery undertone. You can smell the vanilla in it. This is really good. If I don't recommend anything else off of this list, I would definitely highly recommend Cherry Ambition. And I don't think I've done a full dedicated review to this fragrance. I don't think I have. I bought it during a Sephora VIB and I am so happy about it. Actually, I have some stuff that I got from Tree Hut. Some of their latest cherry crave stuff that I cannot wear to pair with this and another cherry fragrance. But this right here is super nice. Really enjoy it. So you guys, those are my thoughts on these samples that Sephora have so kindly sent out with purchases that I've made in the past. And I just have these samples. I have hundreds of them, and I'm like, I need to find something to do. So I said, okay, I can turn this into content and share with them, since the VIB is rapidly approaching. And these are my thoughts on these fragrances. So thank you very much. I greatly appreciate you. Please leave in the comment section below. Commentary is always great for my analytics. Give me a thumbs up, share the video, make mention of things that you share or things that may be on your wish list for Sephora. It really does help with the analytics. I thank you guys so very much. And do not forget, you, yes you are great. Bye-bye.